This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and today I'm going to talk about something that has been absolutely stunning and fantastic throughout training camp, something that everyone was concerned about, something that everyone had a fear about, the thing that people thought was a bigger problem than what was actually a problem. And that thing I'm talking about today is the defense. And it's so crazy at how everybody was so focused on how the defense was going to be. Jack Del Rio sat up there and was paying attention to politics. Sam Mills is one of the worst defensive line coaches there is. Steve Russ doesn't know how to sit up there and develop linebackers. Chris Harris was the only coach out of all the defensive coaches that actually got a positive grade from me. And what I think happened this year is that they must have woken up. Something happened that all of a sudden the coaches on the defensive side have woken up. They all seem to this year be seeming like they all have a chip on their shoulder, like they want something to prove. And to be absolutely honest about this whole thing, I'm starting to see that this defense is actually doing everything they can to have a stellar bounce back. Now again, I'm not jumping the gun just yet, but what I'm saying is that so far we have seen excellent output from all the players involved on this defensive side. Let's start with the defensive line. The defensive line so far seems to be gelling well, even without Chase Young right now. And to be a stellar defense, you have to have a front line that cannot be stopped. And again, most of y'all did not like the Phildarian Mathis pick. I was one of the people that said he should have been picked up by us because what he brings to the table is a guy who can definitely get up the field. All the reports coming out is that Jonathan Allen is still maintaining his Pro Bowl level. They're now talking about Deron Payne, who, by the way, is playing for a contract. They're saying that he's out there doing his thing. I've seen some tape. He does look good so far. Now, and on top of that, we're also talking about our ends. Monte Sweat has been the vocal leader this year, and that he's proving to everyone that, yes, last year was nothing more than a fluke because he had some personal issues going on, but he's going to show that not only is he going to bounce back, he's going to bounce back big time. And with that being said, it looks like the defensive line is in play. Next is the Autobots. The Autobots have been playing stellar ball in training camp. And I know, again, a lot of people say, hey, look, it's just training camp. But let me explain something to y'all. There's been a saying for years, for all of us who've played football, for all of us who play any type of sports, they always tell you, the way you practice is the way you play. And when you practice badly, you play badly. And to be quite honest, we've seen nothing but almost to the point of amazement defense that has shown that, again, they are on the cusp of rebounding. You talking about this secondary absolutely is shutting things down. Cam Curl, our Optimus Prime, the leader of these Autobots, is showing that last year, even when I told y'all he was a Pro Bowl caliber player, he should have made the Pro Bowl. He's showing this year that there is no doubt he's going to be a Pro Bowl fixture for a very long time on his defense. Then you're talking about Will Jack, who currently right now is sitting there kind of slightly injured, but has been playing well. And of course, you're talking about the guy who's always that Optimus Prime can, no doubt about it, depend on, and that's Kendall Fuller. Kendall Fuller is proud. This man is basically on the prowl. He's making sure that he's shutting things down. He shut down Terry for a few plays. He's been actually closing out on a lot of people. He got beat a few times, but again, you're talking about how he's currently playing is something we haven't seen in a very long time from him. And to be absolutely honest, I do see Kendall Fuller having a stellar year as well. And of course, last but not least, Bobby McCain, who actually came in, didn't really seem like he was getting in and adjusting, but we found out that now he is out there actually trying to prove a point that it was no fluke, that he is no fluke, that he can fill this free safety spot. We will find out, but again, the Autobots are on their job and they're doing it. And you're now talking about Benjamin St. Juice is now moving to the slot. So we actually have our Autobots already and in gear. And the level of depth that the secondary has is something we haven't seen in a very long time. One of the guys that they brought in, and I want to apologize to everybody for not bringing you USFL coverage because it was fantastic. Not only that, Washington got the leading interceptions guy in Washington. I think his name is Stifling or something like that. But I remember him, and I think he was with the Generals. But this guy can actually step in. If Will Jacks is sitting there and is still slightly injured, he can actually step in. Or St. Juice can move over. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that for the first time in a long time, the depth that is on the secondary is impeccable. Derek Frost is looking good. He's looking very good in camp. Percy Butler is also looking good. So again, we got this real big, we got all the depth we need. We got a lot of solid starters, and I feel that this secondary is going to be on top of its game. My only concern has to do with the depth of our linebackers and the defensive line. We are sitting in a situation where beyond our starters, I mean, we're still not really certain about Jamin Davis. He has been doing well in camp, but he has been relieved at times by David Mayo. So we got to find out what that dynamic is actually about. And at the same time, the problem we have is that we don't have a lot of guys that can come in immediately and play some games. We signed Nate Geary, but he's a special teams guy. Now, again, don't get me wrong. In the past, we have done well with a special teams guy and Kevin Pierre-Louis. But even with that, coming towards the end of the season, he wasn't used that much. So we got to see what we're going to get out of this guy. And we have to find out if Cole Holcomb is actually adjusting very well to the middle. He's done, so far it seems like he's done very well. He's calling the plays like they should be called. The thing about it is that we have to see if he's able to adjust in game when he sees certain things. That's going to be his biggest level of development at that point. If he sees something that comes out of play, will he know to adjust the play call to get his guys in better positions to make plays? So we'll definitely see that as we go along. But again, this defense is on fire right now. And like I said, I honestly do feel that we are looking at a defense that is going into the season with the biggest chip on their shoulder to prove everyone wrong, that there is no need to be concerned about the defense. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about Chase Young. And I want everybody to understand where I'm coming from with Chase Young. There is nothing to worry about with Chase Young. And the reason there's nothing to worry about Chase Young is because of two words. we haven't heard these two words. And those two words are set and back. We haven't heard the word setback. And because we haven't heard that, that tells me that Chase is actually on pace to come in and actually play very well. I love the fact that he went out there with Von Miller. If you want to be the best, you learn from the best. At the end of the day, that's how I look at it. You don't sit up there and go practice with guys who aren't the best. And because he's been practicing with Von Miller, I see Chase becoming something special. Now again, you're talking about the possibility of him coming in at around week 5, maybe week 6. But still, we don't need to rush him from injury. As long as we don't hear setback, I feel that Chase will be fine. Last but not least, Monte Sweat too. You're talking about another guy. I think he's going to show that he's going to make a very big impact in this upcoming season, and we're going to be excited about that. Again, this is the defense. We're going to need the defense coming out the gates. We're going to need the defense to sit up there and set the tone in Jacksonville, because I think that a lot of people are underestimating Jacksonville and Detroit. So we're going to have to come out there and we're going to have to set the tone defensively through at least maybe the first 6 games of the season, and that is going to be huge for us. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Who's concerned about the defense? Are you concerned about the defense? Do you feel that this defense is on this rebound? Do you feel that at this point these coaches got their minds back adjusted? Now that Jack Del Rio is no longer in the focusing on politics, do you feel that this defense is going to show up this upcoming season? I will see you guys after the preseason game. Other than that, this has been your man John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.